Keeping your plants alive is kind of the main thing of plant parenting, but sometimes it can be tricky. So today I'm sharing how I keep my peperomia hope plants alive, and I hope that you can gain a thing or two to help you keep your peperomia hope plants alive. Hello, my name is Balisa. Welcome to Plants and Things, where I talk about plants and things. So, before I get into the actual plant care part of this video, I do want to say that there's so much information available online that the main ingredient actually to taking care of your plant is God-given curiosity. Be curious about your plant. If I or somebody else suggests something and you apply it to your plant and your plant doesn't like it, stop doing it. So I can't even tell you the number of times where I've gotten a tag from the nursery and tried to follow those care instructions on the plant and the plant hated it. So look at your plant, see how it reacts. If it reacts badly, try something else. You know, be curious. It's a hobby. It's meant to be enjoyed. And so, yeah, done with that disclaimer. Let's get into the plants. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is watering. Obviously, all plants need water, but the difference will be how much water you give each plant. So the peperomia hope is a succulent type plant, so it does not enjoy being overwatered. And as a chronic overwaterer of plants, I always learn this the hard way. This plant wants to be watered thoroughly when it is dry. Only when it is dry. Do not, as some have done, water it just because, you know, you're bored that day and you would like to do some plant care. No, water it when it is dry. And how I tell that plants are dry is by using a water meter. And of course, people have other methods like using your finger, putting your finger in there and trying to see, like, I use a water meter. So I'm not even going to get into those methods. But, you know, if you can do it, strength to you. And I guess you can also tell, yes, this is important. You can tell when the plant is dry because the leaves become paper thin. So I have my favorite peperomia hope here as well. And this is the mother plant. So this mother plant, I was away for a bit, and by a bit, I mean a long time. So it's a bit dry. It's still dry. I watered it last night, but it's still quite dry. And the leaves are almost paper thin, whereas they used to be like chubby, like this guy. So that's how you can tell that your plant is in desperate need of water. But don't let it get to this point, hopefully. Just put a water meter and then you can find out that, yeah, whether the soil is dry or not, and then water it thoroughly. Do not let it sit in water. That is another thing that certain individuals here have done. Don't let it sit in water. Water thoroughly when dry. Yeah, it's basically it about the watering. Now, with regards to sunlight, which is another like key element of plant care, again, because they're a succulent type of plant, they enjoy a lot of sunlight. And this is a good example of a plant that at some point received a lot of sunlight, but at other points did not. So when the plant does not get a lot of sun, the leaves become sparse and also tiny and more spaced out. Whereas you can see here, the leaf places, is that what one says? Where the places are, it's less spaced out. Yeah. So you do want to give this plant a lot of sun because it loves it and it'll look gorgeous when you give it that. So that's on sunlight. In terms of fertilization, I use a balanced fertilizer about once a month, which when I was preparing for this video, I checked, and that is in fact what is recommended. So yay me. The plant loves it. And I do want to say though, even though the plant loves it, I use those fertilizers that you have to, the liquid fertilizer that's concentrated and you have to dilute it. And I don't like how it handles. I don't like how it like stains things. And yeah, it's a whole thing. And so I am looking to move to something different. So if some of you guys are using something different, please let me know. But you know what? The plant loves it and the plant doesn't care how difficult it is for me to handle that concentrate situation. So use a balanced fertilizer once a month. The plant will enjoy it. And I fertilize throughout the year. And I have seen that it's recommended that you don't fertilize in winter because the plant goes into dormancy. But I think in reading up on that, it just seems that it's wasteful at worst. So you're not harming the plant by fertilizing through the winter, I don't think. You're just perhaps maybe wasting. But then again, yeah, so meh. Lastly, I want to talk about humidity. So when I was reading up on humidity regarding this plant, it said that it likes medium to high humidity, which I was tempted to say, I don't believe that. But actually, when I reflected further upon it, because this is kept in normal room humidity and this is kept in the bathroom, which obviously there's sometimes higher humidity in there. And these leaves are bigger and chubbier. Obviously, there's a whole situation with this one being a bit emaciated right now due to the lack of watering. But yeah, in general, these leaves do look bigger and better than this guy's leaves. So yeah, higher humidity it seems to enjoy, but I would say it's not something that you need to stress yourself about. It's not something that I stress myself about. And this plant just happens to be getting a little more humidity during the day than this one. But it'll look gorgeous either way. So yeah, that's not something we need to stress about. That is it for today. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you learned a thing or two about how to take better care of your peperomia hope. Please leave any tips and tricks you might have on how to keep these plants thriving. And I'll see you next time. Bye.